Magandang umaga po, Secretary Pasco.
Magandang umaga, mayong buntag.
Yung buntag, Secretary, maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak po ninyo sa ating programa dito sa Bangon Bayang Mahal. Ano po? Thank you very much po. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Rey Sampang. It's an honor to have you, truly, Secretary Pasco. Siguro po, diretso na po ako, Sec, sa aking mga katanungan para sa araw na ito. Ano po ang ginagawang paghahanda ng DOT para sa pagdagsa ng mga iba't ibang bansang kalahok sa FIBA World Cup 2023 na gaganapin dito sa Pilipinas? Simula na po ito, August 25 na po, Secretary.
Sir, maraming salamat po for the opportunity to be on your show and the work that the Department of Tourism has been doing para naman po ma-assist natin yung successful holding of the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023. We have organized a tourism consortium kasama po yung ating mga private stakeholders, including the Tourism Congress of the Philippines, PhilToa, and other tourism-related organizations sa paggawa ng mga FIBA World Cup tour packages para sa ating mga kababayan, pa rin na rin po ating mga foreign visitors to offer them an opportunity not just to watch the games but also to tour our beautiful island destinations in the Philippines. These are discounted tour packages that they can access through discoverphilippines.travel. In addition to that, we also organized coordination among our attached agencies that includes the TIEZA para naman po sa site enhancements natin for the venues as well as other areas where the participants would have touch points, including our airports. And in the airport, we are presently rendering airport assistance, ensuring a warm welcome for our spectators and our guests. And kasama na rin po dyan yung ating coordination with our fellow government agencies to ensure that the movement of our spectators and our tourists are seamless as well as safe din po.
Interesado po akong malaman, Secretary, yung tinatawag niyong FIBA World Cup tour package. Ano pong nilalaman nung tour package na yon, Secretary?
Yung tour package na ito that has been specifically curated for FIBA actually provides opportunities to visit any of our award-winning destinations as well as our beautiful resorts and hotels across these places. No? Kasama na dito yung Bohol, Boracay, Bacolod, Batangas, Cavite, Cebu, Davao, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Iloilo, La Union, Manila, Palawan, Pampanga, pati na rin po yung Tagaytay. And in these tour packages that you can access via discoverphilippines.travel, it already includes a hotel stay. Of course, there's some scenic tours included there, depending on which particular area you choose. There's airfare already included, as well as other components depending on the destination.
Well, Secretary, I also believe na yung first impressions last, no, sa ating mga foreign tourists, especially bumaba na sila doon sa mga eroplano, unang makikita nila yung ating mga infrastructure, especially our airports. Ano po ang unang makikita nitong mga turistang ito na dadalo o makikilahok sa FIBA World Cup? Paglapag pa lang nila sa ating mga paliparan. What can they expect to see? What can they expect to receive from the Philippines, especially from the Department of Tourism, once they start entering the Philippines through our airports?
Primarily, the airports are under the jurisdiction of the Department of Transportation, and they are doing the physical enhancements of the same. But from the part of the Department of Tourism, in coordination with TIEZA, gumawa po tayo ng mga welcome banners and site enhancements in the areas that our tourists would see once they arrive. We also made sure to engage in the Filipino brand of service excellence training para sa ating mga FIBA volunteers so that our spectators as well as our participants of the FIBA World Cup would immediately feel the warmth and love of the Filipino hospitality that is known worldwide.
How many tourists are you expecting from this period, yung period na from August 25 to September 10, do you have any ballpark figure kung ilang mga foreign tourists ang maaaring pumasok sa atin?
Overall,
Anyway,
FIBA anticipates that during the length of all of the games, there are over 600,000 spectators that are expected. That is a combination of foreign and domestic spectators. As I understand, so far as the arrivals are concerned, the non-spectators and rather the participants themselves have already numbered to over 2,200. And we will continue to coordinate with FIBA, which is chiefly responsible for calculating the exact number of spectators from their end based on the ticket sales that they have also generated.
Bukod po sa ganitong mga usapin, ano po, meron pa po ba tayong nating masasabi na maitutulong nitong tourism push natin kasabay nitong pagdaraos ng FIBA World Cup para sa ekonomiya ng bansa, at least makapag-generate man ng employment po, Secretary?
Unang-una po, nagpapasalamat tayo sa ating presidente, si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., because he has recognized the importance of the FIBA World Cup being held in the Philippines. In fact, nag-issue po siya ng Administrative Order number 5 in order to consolidate the efforts of all the related government agencies into an interagency task force para naman po meron tayong cohesive and coordinated effort towards the success of the FIBA World Cup. The World Cup provides for the Philippines an avenue to reintroduce itself to the world, not only on the basis of our love for basketball, but also on the strength of what we have to offer to our guests, including the Filipino welcome, our natural and cultural assets, the strength of our heritage, our history, yung mga produkto po natin dito na gawa ng ating mga small and medium enterprises, and overall, a memorable, authentic, and wonderful experience in the Philippines. And that is why the Department of Tourism made sure to craft these FIBA World Cup tour packages together with the private sector through the Tourism Consortium, as we see this as a great opportunity to put the Philippines' best foot forward and to give our visitors more reasons to love the Philippines. We anticipate that because of the influx of spectators, both from international and domestic tourists, to watch and cheer on in the FIBA World Cup basketball games, yung tourism value chain po nito ay napaka-wide and vast, no? Because not only are they buying tickets to watch the games, they're also giving livelihood to our transport operators, our pasalubong makers, our local vendors, our restaurants, our hotels, our other components of the tourism sector that stand to benefit. So we foresee a huge economic benefit from holding the FIBA World Cup in the Philippines.
Secretary, simula po nung nilift ng Pangulong Marcos Jr. ang state of emergency kung saan hindi na po mandatory yung pagsusuot ng face mask at pagtatanggal na rin po sa iba pang health measures, lalo na sa pagta-travel gamit ang ating mga airlines, lalo pong lumakas yung tinatawag na revenge travel. The question now po is, is the country ready to accommodate the huge influx of tourists, both local and foreign, in terms of infrastructure, accommodation, and the services that must be provided to help strengthen the country's push to be a tourism hub, not only in Southeast Asia, but also sa buong mundo, Secretary?
Well, the work that the Marcos administration has been doing in the past year is precisely to prepare for the influx of tourists owing out of the years of lockdown that have gravely affected so many as far as the deprivation of livelihood in tourism. Yung ginagawa po natin ay we have tried to strengthen the basics and the essentials of tourism development by focusing on our collaboration and convergence with government agencies. On the aspect of infrastructure, we are working with the Department of Public Works and Highways for the improvement of roads leading to tourism destinations. And for the year 2023, over 158 kilometers of roads have been completed or are ongoing as far as tourism roads are concerned across our destinations. We are also very closely working with TIEZA, our attached agency, to enhance the overall tourism experience. We have already broken ground on 10 tourist rest areas across the country, and I have just returned from Davao for the purpose of inaugurating the third tourist rest area in the country. And there's 7 more that we're inaugurating in the months to come, and breaking ground on 15 more of these TRAs that have a comfortable lounge, clean and decent restrooms para sa ating mga turista. Meron tayong pasalubong and souvenir center and the like. We have also closely worked with the Department of Transportation para naman po siguraduhin natin yung improvement in connectivity para ma-resume yung mga pre-pandemic flights at madagdagan yung flights from international destinations to the Philippines and towards our domestic destinations in our islands in the country. This also includes beefing up our cruise tourism portfolio for sea travel para sa ating mga international guests. And we continue to work with the DICT for improved internet connectivity across 94 destinations in the country, with over 47 of these destinations powered up by half of this year. We've also very closely worked with the Department of Foreign Affairs and other related agencies, including the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Immigration, para naman po ma-improve natin yung ating visa policies. And my understanding is that the DFA will be implementing the electronic visa system for purposes of providing a more convenient way to obtain visas from foreign nationals, beginning with China as well as India. In addition to this, patuloy po yung training natin for the Filipino brand of service excellence. Nag-set po tayo ng goal na 100,000 for this year, and we've already trained over 71,000 of that number to ensure na yung mga guests po natin na pumunta sa Pilipinas ay they feel the love that Filipinos have for our tourists through excellent hospitality across our tourism sectors. In addition to this, we have entered into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of National Defense and the DILG to ensure the peace and safety of our destinations, to continue to train our top cops or tourist police, and to train also our auxiliary forces in our local government units that includes our barangay tanods in tourism safety. So basically, under the Marcos administration, we've been working on the building blocks of tourism development so that we can compete shoulder to shoulder with our neighbors in the ASEAN, as well as key destinations all over the world. We have also attempted to introduce innovations in tourism in the Philippines, such as the launch of the Philippines Hop-on Hop-off bus tours. For the first time, meron na po tayong hop-on hop-off bus tours in key cities in Metro Manila, starting with Makati, followed by the city of Manila and other cities in the metro in the months to come.
Okay.
We have also already revised our national accommodation standards, national accreditation standards, to ensure that the quality of our destinations as well as our accommodation sector are up to a global standard. We continue to work with the private sector in order to ensure that their readiness for receiving the foreign influx of tourists as well as domestic tourists is well prepared. And so I believe that the 3-year-long wait is finally over. And we are seeing that tourism has boomed already and is continuing to improve for the Philippines for the benefit of our fellow Filipinos.
Having said that, Secretary Prasco, sa pagdaraos po ng World Cup 2023 dito sa Pilipinas, especially if we have this wonderful preparations and we can live a positive experience sa mga foreign tourists natin, can you see that DOT can exceed its tourism arrival target of 4.8 million for this year, 2023?
So far, we have already reached over 70% of our target of 4.8 million for this year. That is owing also to the Marcos administration's efforts towards ensuring that the Philippines is open and ready for travel and tourism, as well as the continued hard work of the private sector across the tourism value chain across all of our destinations. And we certainly welcome the FIBA World Cup being held in the Philippines as an added opportunity to welcome more international guests into the country. And we are optimistic that we will be able to meet the number that has been targeted for the end of the year, and hopeful that we will be able to exceed that number.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, for indulging us today in this program Bangon Bayang Mahal. Maraming salamat po, Secretary, for your time. Thank you very much din po sa mga staff niyo that facilitated this interview, helped us facilitate this interview. Thank you very much po, Secretary Frasco. Mabuhay po kayo at ang Department of Tourism.
Daghang salamat. Love the Philippines.